Hello everyone. I'm Thomas Schimmelhorn. You guys are watching Drawing Illustrations and Art. In my last video, I did the sketch with fine charcoal and so forth. This was the photo that I used and so forth. I'm doing a bunch of studies right now and so forth. This is mostly for the big project that I'm working on. I kind of need a break from it because that's just a really big project that I want to take my time on and so forth and whatnot. And it's completely done from the imagination and so forth, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to be using reference on it. And yeah, um, and so forth. Mostly I just needed a break from it. And so, where's my phone? Before I forget, like I always do. You know what I also forgot to do? I also forgot to make sure that this is zoomed in. So I will, is in focus. So I will be right back just to do that. And then I'll set my timer. Okay, everyone. So we got that done. I'm going to set the timer right now. And we're just going to talk for 30 minutes and so on and so forth. I'm actually going to make sure I have my reference image right here. So for the most part, this is going to be like pure white, like right up here. So I'm going to just try and, this might even be a bad idea to have charcoal pencil right here, but before a lot of this gets erased, I want to sort of do this. Right. Yeah, get that in. Right there. This is all going to be blacked out. I wish I didn't do this. Right? But like I was thinking that we had all this and whatnot, and so I was thinking, oh, this is a necessity. So I'm really just going after these major areas of white right here. Right? We want this kind of preserved. I think for the most part, this is all going to be blended out, softened, right? I'm just using like this grid system before I erase it to keep track of all this stuff because some of it kind of just, and I see some details right here. So we'll see, like, right, we're not, I don't want to copy it, and I kind of have an idea for what I'm going to do with it, right, and so on and so forth. So, again, I'm just following a lot of this. Where are we at? We are at 4. We're like right here. There's like this and this and this. Right, and I shouldn't try and follow this as much as I'm trying to, but you know, like there's just like these little hints of things here, which is mostly soft, so I probably should just let that figure out itself, right? I don't usually go for a photorealistic thing. Not even a sketch. Where are we at? 4. Yeah, so there's like these. So, but that's definitely my goal, is to get accurate to the image, but also be able to do what I want with the image. Right, if that makes sense. I don't want to copy, but I don't want to lose what we have, and so forth. Right, that makes sense? Yeah, but mostly like these white spaces is what I'm after. Right, it was hard not to fill these dark spots in, right? Because they were just there, and it was hard to like not tell what this is and that is without filling those in. But that's mostly tone, and it kind of gets in the way of the sketch. I'm also just gonna like do these little random things, right? Because when I go to erase this grid line, you know, right? So the question is, what's important here? I think what's important is this outline, right? I find this pretty important. I don't want to lose too much of the happenings that are happening right here. And then all this is white. There's like some, so maybe I save this. I'm not sure how I want to handle it basically, because this is supposed to be straight white. And whatnot. Not too crazy about this. Where am I at on this? This is 2, 4. Right here, yeah. So I just want to make sure that we're kind of in the right spot. I just want to preserve this. I'm going to keep this as white as possible. Right. Go after these major areas of white. Right, so this is 5, 3. So I'm just going to build this up a little bit. Right now I'm following this. I do have a plan for what I want to do though. Don't want, and the reference image, this is pretty white. Basically, I'm afraid to erase this and then blend it out. Right over here, this is pretty dark. Sorry I can't get the reference image in here. kind of looks like it, but also it kind of doesn't. Right, I'm trying to get like all the major stuff before I commit. Nothing really looks like it's supposed to. So I'll just go in and hit these shapes as best as possible. There's a pretty good chance that the next time I try this though, I'm going to just use the charcoal pencil. If I use the vine charcoal again, I'm definitely going to stay away from using all those. Right? My only concern is that this actually looks like what I'm trying to draw. This is also something that usually happens to me, right? Where this is something that I haven't done before, and so it just looks bad. The plants, I have a problem with. Right, like right here, these overgrown parts, but we don't get to zoom in. See these, so I'm not going to worry about these. And so I don't think it's going to look that bad once we zoom out. And once I blend these out. Okay, I'm not going to worry about that. Alright. So I'm going to take the deep dive and see what happens. And hopefully I can erase the majority of this. Sometimes it does not go as planned. Sorry. Replying to people on Facebook. I'm hoping that this doesn't leave any marks. Right. The hope is that this blends out. Sometimes there are issues, sometimes there aren't. Okay, this eraser erases pretty good though. My worry is in fact that. Right? But you only live once, right? Question is, can I just clean? Okay. That's not bad. Right? Right? I can get away with that, right? Yeah, I think we can deal with that. I think it's not that big of a deal. It's the cat I'm worried about. And whatnot. That I haven't shared yet. That one is scary. Now I could time lapse this, but I'm not going to do that. And so forth. You get what you get. I'm going to try to do some type of sky effect with this. Right? There's also a reason why I didn't put a border on here. Right? And also why I did want to preserve everything. And whatnot, but also I guess I kind of got a little impatient. It happens. It's also a good thing that we still have our thing. I have to move that up a little bit. Trying to align this up correctly to get this is kind of annoying. Oh yeah, I don't want to do that yet. Uh-oh. Okay, this clamp's pretty strong. I mean, I'm probably going to do this again. I need to, not be so negative about myself, man. I don't think it's turning out bad. The annoying part, though, is getting all the pencil shavings off. Yeah, that's probably the most annoying part. And Some people will be like, just use a brush. Yeah, well, it is. It's going to be interesting once we blend this out, though. Oh no, that just went to a meh moment. We do want to get rid of this, though. If you couldn't tell, I am going to spray mineral spirits on this. It's going to give it that cool effect. Right? I don't know when I'm going to do that, though. Right? It will also be nice to be able to refer back to the reference image in the bigger project. I kind of am not using any references. I like to do that. I like to just let my mind do what it wants and so forth, completely based on what I've studied, though. Yeah, so we just want to, I'm going to run the eraser over this a little bit. Just a little bit. I want that to have a fade to it, right? Ooh, this didn't. That'll be interesting to see how we can cover it up. There's a reason why I didn't put a border on this. I didn't want to put a border on this because I didn't want I'm sorry, I'm reading stuff. I did not want there to be a border. Right? I want to sort of play around with sort of having this edge where the border is, right, have a certain type of an effect. Right? So yeah, we're just gonna go over this as best as we possibly can. Obviously we're gonna have to come back in. This is gonna get a little stained. I don't even know if that's the best. Part of me thinks that I should still use a ruler here. Just trying to make sure I line this up the best I can. Which is not easy once all of this is on here. Ugh, especially that. There's no white line here. Would this be okay? Like, I guess I'm gonna find out. And whatnot. If I don't come back and do all this, I'm gonna try and clean this. Yeah. By the way, I bought more of these boards. And I think I bought the wrong boards. I think I was supposed to buy the masonite, and I bought this cardboard crap. Terrible stuff. Came to me broken. It's very flimsy. It's not like this at all. This is like wood or MDF or something. This doesn't really break. And that's the wrong way to describe MDF, but at this point it works a lot better. Camera cut out, we're almost done here. I could take a brush and get this going. So then we can just probably go a little crazy right here. Right. Maybe have some chaos or something going on right there. The idea is to give the mineral spirits something to remove, to put on an effect, right? Because it does that, it's going to dilute everything, make it softer, right? And so, and if this does leave, kind of marks, like it seems like it's leaving right now, I should be able to blend that out though, and so forth. But that is obviously not always the case. Like right here, this is not going anywhere. I don't know if I'm using the wrong type of eraser for this either. Right. I do know you do not want to use a kneaded eraser for this. Bad idea. And whatnot. Bad idea. The kneaded eraser will, in fact, ruin it. Alright, so I am going to come back over here, apparently. Apparently I never got those. Alright, and I suppose you could cover this up with the times that I've just tried to cover it up. It just hasn't worked. So I am kind of doing this, making sure I got as much of that as I can be removed if possible. I'm gonna go get a brush. I'm almost out of time, so I will do the rest in time lapse like my normal videos and so forth, while also telling you to like, comment, subscribe, tell me what you guys thought about this. If you like it, don't forget to check out my Facebook, which should be in the description below, where you can buy any of my finished artworks. Yeah. Thank you for watching.